Check it. Alright guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. In this video, we're looking at AMC stock, GME stock, SPY stock. We're looking at bangers, y'all. We're looking at home run, face melting game bangers, y'all. We're looking at the top trades and plays. This is your weekly update and prediction video as well. This video is jam-packed full of information. It's full of information. It's a longer one. So go ahead and grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself something to eat, and chill and relax and get ready to soak up all of these knowledge and keys, because we're about to go a deep dive into the market. If you want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join the Data Zero family today. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop in the charts, the facts, the data. Let's go. All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video with Data Zero. This is going to be a jam-packed video full of information that you need to know if you play with stocks or crypto or hold AMC. This is going to be a longer video, so grab yourself a cup of coffee, grab yourself a drink, strap in and relax, and get ready to soak up these keys and get this knowledge. I'm going to be talking about Apple stock, SPY stock, Bitcoin, Ethereum, so much more. AMC. You want to watch these if you're looking for plays and are trying to profit off of the stock market. Now, let's go ahead and hop in and show you guys what we're talking about. First, though, we have to say that this video is not financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. That being said, let's go ahead and hop in the charts and see what we have going on. So the first thing I want to point out for you guys is the movement for SPY, where I think SPY is going to be headed based off what the charts are telling me. I'm going to explain my reasoning and why I think this. I think SPY is about to get a decent pop back to the upside. You guys can see that MACD is starting to curl. RSI got pretty oversold on the 4-hour time frame, so it's decent for SPY to get a bounce. Now we have to watch the critical level of 435.25, 435.25. If this breaks to the downside, you're going to see a massive capitulation for SPY, especially if we confirm this bearish engulfing here on the daily time frame. Confirming this bearish engulfing on the daily time frame, you're going to see capitulation. Now, SPY is setting up what I think is going to be a bull trap, pushing to about 444, maybe even all the way to 451. We do have a gap fill up here. For us to be able to reach this gap is not very likely. We would need a ton of bullish momentum, maybe some positive news. We would need a lot of bullish momentum to get past this resistance, and this resistance marked here in yellow and marked here in white. Major resistance as these head and shoulders played out, which I talked about in my previous videos. Right here's your shoulder, right here's your head, right here's your shoulder. Neckline, we dropped down. It also formed a head and shoulders. Right here's your shoulder, right here's your head, right here's your shoulder. We dropped down from that. This was your neckline, which created this support resistance and created this support resistance. And now you can see that we possibly have a even larger head and shoulders playing out. This is your shoulder, this is your head, and this is your shoulder. Your neckline would be here, and as you guys can see, this would play out an even larger head and shoulders pattern for a overall downside. So you do not want to see SPY break below the key levels of 432 or 435.25. If you see that, it's gonna get ugly quick for SPY. I do think we're going to see overall upside for the week. Last week I predicted a green weekly candle for SPY. This week I'm also predicting a green weekly candle for SPY. I do think we're going to see overall upside. Now the thing is, we could see capitulation happen so fast, we could see a pullback happen so fast that it could be an overall red print. Again, the trend is your friend, and it looks like the trend is going to continue. So I'm expecting maybe a doji style type candle, maybe not a very big green candle, a doji style type candle. It might even be a red candle, but we're going to go ahead and go with the green prediction and say that we're going to probably see a slight close to the upside if SPY can manage to pull off the bull trap, which I think it is going to set, which is pushing back up out of this channel, breaking back to the upside at 444, maybe even 451 before getting overall bounce back to the downside. Now we want to look at tech, because tech is a huge influence on the market. Stocks like Apple and Nvidia, you want to watch very, very closely. And you guys can see that Apple has had a gap as an overall capitulation to the downside. I called a beautiful trade here on Apple, 150 buy, pump to the upside all the way to 196, calling the sell signal at 196. Called this out on the Discord, called this out on Twitter. And again, if you want to join the Discord, hit me up in the email link below. There is only a limited amount of space and you want to get in before the price increases. I give buy and sell signals, technical analysis, and it's an exclusive community. If you want to join, hit me up in the email link below. $50 for a lifetime invite. All you have to do is hit me up in the email link below. Pay, I send you the link. It's as easy as that. PayPal and Cash App is how I take payment. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue. You guys can see that we have this gap fill to the upside and gap fill to the downside. So I do think Apple might come back up. As you guys can see, RSI was very, very oversold, and we are getting a green MACD flip. We are getting a green MACD flip here on the daily time frame. So you guys can see we have this green MACD flip. RSI was very, very oversold. It's very, very natural for Apple to bounce back up, probably filling this gap, maybe even coming all the way back up and making a slightly higher high and then bouncing back to the downside. Apple is in a stage where I do think this was an overall euphoria type of rally. It's going to overall see a pump back to the upside, maybe making a slightly lower low or a slightly higher high. In my case, I think it's going to probably be a slightly lower low, maybe topping out about 196 and filling this gap and then coming back to the downside. So this is what I'm looking at for S or for Apple. I do think it's going to help push the market up. Tech helps push the market up. So I do think Apple's actually going to see a little bit of recovery back to the upside, filling this gap and then coming down to fill that gap to the downside, which could help SPY do the same thing because Apple and SPY are basically the same, or not the same stock, but SPY is made up of a lot of Apple. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY and Apple, and why I think SPY is also going to have a nice pump to the upside. Now you want to watch things like the dollar DXY. This is going to push stocks down. Stocks like Apple, stocks like tech, NASDAQ, anything with NASDAQ, SPY, Bitcoin. This is going to put pressure on that and help push those things down. So you want to watch DXY. It's something you want to keep on your radar. This is the US dollar. This is something you definitely want to keep an eye on. As you guys can see, it has been pushing to the upside at about 104. If we see the dollar hit 105, if we see it hit 105, this is going to have definite pressure on the stock market and cause a overall crash and capitulation to the downside. And this is why I do think tech is going to be crashing and the market is going to be crashing as well. Also, tech, NASDAQ has a macro bear flag. You guys can see that there's a massive bear flag, which is a bearish pattern. The targets are way down here at 10,000 and 11,000 on this bear flag, maybe even a lower low, another leg down. So I do think we are going to see an overall capitulation to the downside. If we go ahead and look at the market cycle psychology chart, which is a key chart, you want to keep this chart on your radar as well, learning how to tell what asset is in what cycle. You guys can see that the chart very, very clearly shows you a hope, optimism, belief, euphoria rally. So a major rally to the upside, then a drop to the downside, this upwards consolidation chop, and then another leg down. This is the complacency stage where a lot of people get caught in a major bull trap. We just need to cool off before the next bull rally. It says, you guys can see you have this upwards chop, which is a bear flag, and then you see that push to the downside. Look at what NASDAQ's doing right now. You guys can see it's a push to the upside, then a jump to the downside. Overall, euphoria rally, you see how it kind of goes up. It's following it to a T. It kind of goes up, then it goes parabolic, drop down for a slightly lower low. You guys can see that slightly lower low, and then another leg down. Look, slightly up, euphoria rally, drop down, then you guys can see a slightly lower low. What do you think is going to be happening next? A major rug pull to the downside, and I am playing this out by holding SQQQ. SQQQ is a perfect way to make profit off of the downside. So while everyone is freaking out, and again, this is not something I'm going to be proud of, but you have to learn how to move like smart money moves and make money on the upside and the downside. When everyone is freaking out, I'm going to be making bank because I hold SQQQ, and this also pays dividends while you're waiting. I'm working on a major trade for SQQQ. Again, do not follow my trades. Follow at your own risk. You must do your own technical analysis and research before buying any stock or crypto asset. I am not a financial advisor. I cannot give you financial advice. But guys, as you can see, me personally, I'm accumulating in this range here. Accumulation. While I'm accumulating in this range here, you guys can see this gap fill to the downside, possibly can get filled. Now we have multiple gap fills to the upside on SQQQ, and if that bear flag on NASDAQ were to play out, this would push SQQQ all the way up to 60, maybe even $80. So you can see the amount of gain you can get off of that. This is a 30% gain. This is a 70% gain. This is a 300 to 700% gain in this range here. So you can see the amount of profits you can make, and you're making dividends while you're holding the stock. This is why I'm holding long shares of SQQQ, accumulating in this range and waiting to play an upside. And again, this is a perfect way to play shares because you get the paid dividends and you can accumulate and hold while it does have some downside. I do think SQQQ can see overall downside. You can see this overall ascending triangle at a false break to the upside and a false break to the downside. We should see overall downside for SQQQ coming all the way down to about $17, which would fill the gap on NASDAQ. So that would fill the gap on NASDAQ. That would mean NASDAQ coming up to fill this gap at 1400, which NASDAQ is comprised a lot of Apple as well. And we could see that with Apple pushing up as well. So there is a good reason why we are about to see a movement to the upside. I do believe in the market filling this gap fills to the upside and then filling these gap fills to the downside for an overall capitulation on the bear flag on NASDAQ and on SPY. And on SPY, SPY, and S&P 500. Both all have these bear flags and are playing out on the macro time frame, and both have the cycle analysis where you can see a slight upward, then you see a slightly lower low, euphoria rally, slightly lower low, and then overall bear flag and capitulation to the downside, hence why the arrows down here, price targets marked in red. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall market, Apple and NASDAQ. Also NVIDIA is very overbought. You guys can see that it's very overbought. NVIDIA, I do think, is going to be seeing downside as well. I did personally tell the Discord puts on NVIDIA after earnings, and you guys can see we had earnings and it's been dumping ever since. Those puts have absolutely been printing. We have a gap fill to the downside on NVIDIA and a massive gap fill to the downside on NVIDIA here. I do think NVIDIA will be seeing overall downside as well. Again, it's a very strong stock, but right now it's in a major euphoria type rally, and it's going to take a while for the bullishness to leave. But when it leaves, it's going to leave hard. It's going to be vicious what happens to NVIDIA. And again, multiple gap fills to the downside. It will be returning to these levels to fill these gaps. So this is what I'm looking at, and this is why I think the overall market will be pulling back. Now let's go ahead and hop into the meme stocks. That would be good for the meme stocks if the market does pull back. If a market crash does happen, this would be good for the meme stocks. Why? Because margin calls, and when liquidity dries up, it causes short squeezes. Now, we got to talk about AMC. We got so much going on with AMC, so much madness with AMC. Okay, we have madness going on with AMC. So we have multiple reports of cost to borrow going all over the place. Right now we have 739%. Also, short interest has been getting reported everywhere from 9% all the way up to 275%. Okay, so short interest is absolutely all over the place with AMC. We're seeing short interest just bounce all over the place. Again, reports up all the way up 270%. All the way down to 9%. Again, Fintel right now, Fintel's reporting 29.24%. So that would be good to see short interest increasing. Also, it is good to see that we are still on the threshold security list. We want to see for Monday. If we are still on the threshold security list. But right now, AMC is still on the New York Stock Exchange threshold security list. You guys can see that as of the 25th. Right here on the 25th, you guys can see that AMC is still on it. We want to see Monday's data. We do not obviously have Monday's data yet. We will have it by the end of the day on Monday around 10 o'clock. I do believe it updates 10 or 12 o'clock. So we will see that by the end of the day. But that means the FTDs did not get cleared if this is still on the list, and that means the play is still on. If the shorts have not covered, FTDs are still piling up, and right now more FTDs could be created than ever because we have all of the madness going on with the conversion, and brokers are messing up on the orders. Okay, they're messing up the whole conversion. They're doing everything wrong. They're creating millions and millions and millions and millions of more of FTDs. Guys, we could be getting into a situation where this thing actually gets completely out of control. Again, I do not want to pump people up with hopium because this is a major risk play right now. There's very, very high risk in this play, but with high risk comes very, very high reward. AMC with the technicals, and we'll get to it in a second. I'm talking about these speculative and fundamental type data. These things show us that these metrics are so out of control and so many failed delivers that are being created that they would have to deliver on millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of shares. It's absolutely insane what is possibly going on. So me personally, I'm holding on to this thing and hanging in there and waiting to see how this thing goes. Do not over leverage yourself. Only put in money that you can afford to lose, especially in a play like this. It's very, very risky. Me personally, I'm working on multiple other plays. I never put all my eggs in one basket. I diversify. I always diversify. That's why I'm working on SQQQ, playing SQQQ. I'm working on playing GameStop. I'm also working on playing Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. I'm working on multiple other plays. I also want to report real quickly, BBIG for some reason showing up 100%. I don't see it on the chart. But right here, it's showing up 100%. So I just want to point that out. But guys, I'm working on multiple other plays that will make sure that I'm going to get the bag. You never want to put all your eggs in one basket just hoping on one golden ticket. You want multiple golden tickets, multiple ways out, multiple ways that if someone asks you how you're going to make $1 million or how you're going to get rich or how you're going to reach your goals, you want multiple answers to that person. You want to be able to say, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. One of them is going to work out, okay? So this is what I'm looking at when I come at with AMC. There's so much going on with the data. The personal data right now that we're seeing is 29.24%. Okay, we're seeing cost to borrow at 739%. We're seeing FTDs being racked up. We didn't get any new FTD data as of yet, but they are racking up. We are still on the threshold security list. Ortex is reporting FTDs. Short interest is getting insane reports all the way up to 275%. So we're seeing absolute chaos on the side of the brokers, and this could cause a huge mess. Also, we have the settlement, which is given as a dividend. This could help expose naked shorts. If naked shorts get exposed, they would have to cover very, very quickly, which would cause massive rallies to the upside. So we have multiple things to look forward to in AMC. I do not want to pump you guys up with hopium, but realistically, this thing is far from over. Okay, it's far from over. I did not want the reverse split, but I'm happy to admit when I'm wrong, and so far it looks like I was wrong about the reverse split. It looks like short interest did not get covered. It looks like they did not cover, so maybe I was wrong about this, and I'm happy to admit it, especially if it means we're gonna see the squeeze. So we're gonna continue to hold on to this thing, diamond hand this thing until the end, and see what happens on the other side. Now let's go ahead and show you guys what is happening with the technicals, and show you guys the technicals and show you what's going on. So far, 0 shares available to borrow for Monday. That could change as of Monday. They did have shares on Friday. They did have shares available on Friday. So let's go ahead and show you guys the technicals on that. And at the end of this video, we're gonna be talking about GME. We're gonna be talking about crypto as well. We're gonna be talking about GME next and crypto here in a second. I want to show you guys the Bitcoin chart showing you how it's a fundamental fire sale basically for Bitcoin at these points. You guys can see the fire sale level here. Basically a fire sale. So if there's a crash on Bitcoin, the profits that you can make are just absolutely insane. But we'll get to all that here in a second. So as you guys can see, AMC is far outside of the Bollinger Band. So again, we have all of these things going on with the possible naked short rallies. If you look at the Volkswagen short squeeze, if you go ahead and look at the VW short squeeze, I always call it Volkswagen short squeeze, you guys can see that that had a major capitulation. Again, AMC is not Volkswagen, but short squeezes normally have a major drop to the downside before they pump. Again, we could see a major gap to the upside and then just start rallying, but you can see how this thing started to rally and then just dumped and then squeezed. You can see that AMC kind of did something similar. It started to rally to the upside. You can't really tell in the chart now, but before you guys knew, well, right here you guys can see it started to rally to the upside and then dump to the downside. And you guys could see before the chart reverse split, we did have a definite rally to the upside before it dumped to the downside. And you guys can see we're way outside the Bollinger Bands. RSI is way oversold. Again, not financial advice, but me personally, being greedy when others are fearful is key. Right now, AMC is max fear, max fear. We're way outside the Bollinger Bands. We're way oversold. The stock is way beat down. and the reverse split and conversions already over and behind us, so people can actually invest in it without worrying about all of that madness. There is a lot of plus sides to AMC right now, and a lot of reasons to actually be hopeful and tell you that the play is 100% not over. Let's go ahead and look on the smaller time frames and show you guys what I think is going to be happening here in the next week. I do think we're going to see a green weekly candle for AMC and GME. I think we're going to see one on SPY, AMC, and GME. So those are your weekly predictions. Green candles on all three of these assets. Let's go ahead and hop in and show you guys what's going on with this falling wedge. So we have a possible falling wedge forming right here. I do think AMC is going to start trending back to the upside, possibly found a bottom here at 1240. We might need to retest it here on market open, have a sharp drop down, but I do think Monday should be a green day for AMC. So I'm actually looking for AMC to get a little bit of recovery Monday. It got pretty beat down after the reverse split, having 2 red days. So I do think we're finding a bottom and finding that bottoming process. Again, I told you guys this would be a brutal process after the reverse split. Basically, AMC would pump up and then try to find its bottom. Again, we need to find out where the bottom is. That way we can see when this thing starts to trend back up. Now, if we have sudden rallies because of naked shorting being covered or something like that, you guys would obviously see that. FTDs being covered. We also have multiple gap fills to the upside. People are saying there's gap fills to the downside, but I don't really see any gap fills here to the downside. Again, people are saying there's gap fills down there, but I don't see any gap fills here to the downside. But we do have a gap fill here to the upside and a gap fill here to the upside as well. Multiple gap fills to the upside for AMC. So this is very bullish. Again, when RSI is extremely oversold on this metric, price is way outside of the bands. While it's constricted, we could see a major snap back to the upside for AMC stock. Not financial advice. Again, you can see RSI is extremely oversold. Price is way outside of the bands, and we have gap fills above us. Not financial advice. I'm holding on because I do believe the price is going to increase, especially when it finds its bottom. When it finds its bottom, it's going to see a bounce up. I do think AMC could climb here in pre-market to about 1325 as this wedge starts to play out. And I do think we could see an overall push to the upside here on Monday. Again, check in with me on Monday to get more information on AMC. I will be going live 9:15. I will be going live, so hop into the channel at 9:15 to catch me live. I will be looking at AMC and the overall market. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about Bitcoin. I just want to show you Bitcoin, and then we'll talk about GameStop. But I just want to show you guys crypto market right now is looking pretty decent. You're seeing a mixed bag for altcoins. Saw some altcoins up, some altcoins down. Pretty much a flat day for altcoins. Bitcoin though, Bitcoin is, and again, I hold altcoins and Bitcoins. My portfolio is fairly safe when you come to a crypto portfolio. I hold 50% Bitcoin and then 50% altcoins, and the altcoins are made up of about 7 different altcoins. So you can see that Bitcoin is a large majority of my portfolio. I do this to protect against crashes and things like when altcoin winters and things like that. If you've been in the crypto game as long as me, you would understand why I move this way. A lot of people like to chase the risk with altcoins, and that's all fine and dandy. But me personally, I'm investing for the long term and holding for at least a few years. And I'll scale out in bull runs, obviously taking profit and buying back in. But I'm a long-term investor in these assets. You guys can see that Bitcoin right now is in a historic low. If you look at the blue level right here, that's called the fire sale level. Anytime you bought Bitcoin in this level, you guys can see it was very, very, very profitable. So if Bitcoin were to see a crash and pull back with NASDAQ and the overall market, I do think it's going to decouple. I think it's going to see an overall pullback with it, but I think it's going to decouple, and I'll explain that here in a second. But as you guys can see, it would be an absolute major gain for Bitcoin. Now, why do I think Bitcoin's going to decouple? Because it's in a different stage of its cycles. You guys can see that this was your euphoria rally, basically of your euphoria rally here. Your euphoria rally, this is your complacency stage, drop to the downside. Then you see this upwards consolidation chop. That's your complacency stage. So euphoria rally, drop to the downside. And let's go ahead and just show you the chart real quick so you guys can get an update. Euphoria rally, drop to the downside, upwards consolidation chop, complacency stage, and then a major bear market. So up to this upside, euphoria, drop to the downside. This is your complacency stage. Then you have your drop to the downside, major bear market, anger and depression, which is a lower low. You guys can see anger and depression, which is a lower low, anger and depression, a lower low, and now Bitcoin is actually moving into its hope and disbelief rally. And a lot of people don't think Bitcoin can move to the upside right now, and that's literally the method for the disbelief rally. This is a suckers rally, and this is why it's so hard to buy the bottoms and sell the tops. It's psychology, and psychology is very, very important to understand in stocks. That's why you want to use this Wall Street cheat sheet. Again, when you're doing technical analysis, all you're doing is charting algorithmic and human behavior and psychology. So as you guys can see, it's people think it's a suckers rally. That normally has a slight bit of pullback. You guys can see that it's having a slight bit of pullback right now. I do think Bitcoin is actually going to find its bottom around these ranges and then start traveling back to the upside and get its legs and go back into another bull run around the year of 2024. So not very far away. Mid 2024, Bitcoin is going to be in another bull run, in my personal opinion. If you go ahead and look at the monthly MACD has flipped. Anytime the monthly MACD flips, you guys can see that normally correlates with a major bull run to the upside. You've only had a few false signals with the monthly MACD, one right here, but even after that, you had this major rally. You had a flip here, and you had a little bit of a dip, but after that, you had a major rally, and you had a flip here where you had this rally, you had a flip here where you had this rally, and you had a flip here where you had this rally. So all times when you had the monthly MACD flip, you were good. We also have buy signals on the technical analysis, buy signals on the weekly time frame. For the super trend, we have a buy signal on the weekly time frame, so that is bullish as well. And we have the breakout of this falling wedge right here, this falling wedge. You guys can see this falling wedge. We have a breakout of. Let's go ahead and show you guys. I gotta change the screen real quick so I can see. Let's go ahead and show you guys the super trend and take off the Bollinger Bands, and I'll put the screen back. So as you guys can see, we have that buy signal here on the super trend. You guys can see that buy signal. Again, bullish, 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 bullish. These weekly buy signals normally correlate with major rallies as well. You guys can see each time you had a weekly buy signal. So again, I'm holding on to my Bitcoin, investing long term. I think that it's going to see a bull rally into 2024. This will help coins like XRP, XLM, and Ethereum. And also, I'm holding Ethereum as well. Ethereum, again, could possibly flip Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. Ethereum could definitely flip Bitcoin. It's deflationary. It has a burn rate, and it also has a very bullish chart. So if Ethereum could definitely flip Bitcoin, and that would cause you a massive amount of gains. I also hold XLM and XRP. I'm holding these key assets as well. I do think crypto is going to decouple. Again, why? I showed you because it's in a different stage of its cycle. So I think crypto is going to actually start moving to the upside while the market moves to the downside. If the market crashes, it could have a little bit of effect on crypto. But if you haven't noticed, like things with the banking crisis and stuff like that, the Bitcoin is slowly starting to decouple based off the fundamentals away from the stock market. And it's one of the major plays that I'm playing along with XRP, XLM, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. These are major long-term accumulation swing trades, home run, knock them out the park, major face melting gains trades that I'm looking at. So you guys, again, if you do your due diligence and research, maybe can look at them too. Now, GameStop is another one of these big home run hitters, just like AMC MOAS. GameStop MOAS. We also have Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. These are all home run hitters. And I'm also working on SQQQ, profiting off the market crash. Home run hitters. Let's talk about GameStop. GameStop. We're going to be focused on our home run hitters on this channel and checking in on the macro every single day. So press subscribe if you want more information like this. Again, this is going to be a longer video, but it's going to be packed full of information. Now, as you guys can see, GameStop is pushing to the downside. RSI way oversold on the daily time frame. Way oversold on the daily time frame. GameStop to me looks like a buy. Okay, looks like a buy. I might even put a buy signal out on the Discord. I probably actually will do that. Not financial advice, but GameStop is a definite buy. Okay, you can see that RSI is extremely oversold. You can see that RSI is extremely oversold. You can see that we found support here off of this overall wedge that we are forming here, marked here in yellow. This wedge marked here in yellow. You guys can see that the MACD is starting to curl back to the upside. These are all bullish signs for GameStop. We're also going to be looking at the Bollinger Band. So I'll show you guys that price is trying to, or at the bottom of the Bollinger Bands. It did slightly go outside of the Bollinger Bands here on the daily time frame and is using the Bollinger Bands as support. On the 4-hour time frame, you guys can see it did slightly go out as well, using them as support. We also have a pennant formation here, which could be a forming of a bottom. Right now, on the smaller time frames, we have an ascending triangle, so I do think GameStop is going to travel to the upside here in pre-market. Last video I put out on Friday, I told you guys that after hours would be positive for GameStop. You guys can see that that came to fruition. Now I think we're going to see a green pre-market as well. So I think GameStop's going to be green pre-market and then have a drop down to the downside. So you might have a red day tomorrow for GameStop, which would be a good time to pick some up, not financial advice. So this is what I'm looking at for GameStop, especially if we see a pullback and breakdown of this ascending triangle. We'd probably come back down to about 1650, 1660, around that range, using it as support, and then having a green day Tuesday. I do think GameStop is going to have a green week, okay? So I know that it's had all of these red weeks in a row. I think GameStop's about to get its green week. You can see that's way outside the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame. You guys can see that's way outside the Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame. I do think GameStop is about to get a nice snap back to the upside and is looking for a green week. So I do predict a green week for Bitcoin, or for for GameStop, a green week for AMC, and a green week for the overall market. And those are your predictions. This is your weekly prediction and update. Now, again, GameStop is looking like it's going to have a red day Monday and then a green day Tuesday. Hopefully, it can find a bottom early Monday tomorrow and have a green day Monday. So hopefully what happens is this ascending triangle plays out. You see a drop to the downside. It quickly finds a bottom and then recovers. That would be a very bullish scenario. But what most likely is going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of pullback throughout the rest of the day, finding a bottom around the end of the day, and then start recovering for a green day Tuesday. So this is what I'm looking at for GameStop. For GameStop, I am bullish on GameStop. I do think GameStop will still squeeze. It has plenty of shares DRS. The float is literally locked up. The float is literally locked up. Again, 60% of the float is locked up in DRS, and it has a very small float. The float is much smaller than AMC's, especially now that AMC has all of that dilution. Again, that is the main thing we need to worry about. The dilution with AMC is not a good thing. That can push the price down or prevent any type of squeezing, especially if we see Adam Aron dump those 550 million shares, which he has an 8K filing for. So these are the things that you have to worry about. There are a lot of risk. Again, high risk, high reward for AMC. GME has risk as well, but the CEO is a little bit better if he buys shares. And GME is about to have a positive earnings as well. It has cash in the bank, So GME is looking really, really good. I do think GME is going to have a positive earnings, and that's going to help blast GME to the sky. The fact that GME is being pushed down so much tells me a lot. I think that they're trying to push it down to accumulate shares at a low price before a major markup to the upside. Again, I'm not a Wyckoff expert, but this looks like a Wyckoff accumulation, and this looks like the spring right here. If we go ahead and quickly pull up Wyckoff accumulation, again, I'm not a Wyckoff expert. I do not claim to be a Wyckoff expert. But you guys can see, if you look at the pattern here, it looks to be the spring of the Wyckoff accumulation, where a spring you have a slight dip down and then an overall markup to the upside. And you guys can see right here's your Wyckoff accumulation. Here's where it starts, drop down, and then you drop into your spring, and then overall markup back to the upside. You also can see that GME has a macro double bottom, bottom number 1, bottom number 2. If we form a higher low here and bottom here, that would be bottom number 3, and that would be extremely bullish for a push back to the upside. Filling this gap fill here at $70 and this gap fill at $40. Multiple gap fills to the upside for GME. Again, I'm very, very bullish on GME stock, especially with the RSI being this low and the stock being pushed down this much. These are the type of things that I look for as a trader to get in, snag these up for that quick bounce recovery back to the upside. So again, I'm putting out a buy signal on the Discord. If you want to join the Discord, all you got to do is hit me up in the email link down below and in the comment section. I also have my Instagram there. Follow me if you would like, or hit me up on Instagram if you like. I also have my Twitter as well. Follow me there for more information about stocks and cryptos, more alerts. And guys, this is pretty much the video, okay? This is pretty much the video. Again, bullish on GME, bullish on AMC,
bearish on the market overall, bullish on SQQQ, bullish on Bitcoin. Looking at the super plays, again, super plays, GameStop, massive accumulation swing trades, home run, knock them out the park, face melters. GameStop, AMC, SQQQ, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. These are all major moves that I'm looking at and accumulating right now for major face melting gains. So don't be mad when you see me make the gains. Hopefully you guys can find this video informative. If you did, go ahead and drop the like. Hopefully you guys are making a bag. I know some of you guys make a bag every single day. I see you guys growing and learning, and it makes me so proud that I see you guys learning and growing, starting to make more and more money. Also, we have major winners in the Discord as well, people hitting every single day. I post them up on the YouTube so you guys can see them. Come join the winning circle. Come join the winning circle and join the Discord. Discord is $50 right now. Come get in before the price goes up or spots run out. It is $50 right now for a lifetime membership. What I do for that lifetime membership, I post technical analysis. You also get access to all other technical analysis that people are posting in there, all the news, so you can be up and up on what's going on in the market. Also, buy and sell signals. For example, I gave that buy signal 150 for Apple, sell 196. If you look at where Apple topped, you couldn't get much better than that. Bullish, bullish, bullish. So go ahead and start winning today. Hit me up. Email is linked below in the comment section. But guys, if you want to support me for free and join the Data Zero family, all you have to do is simply subscribe and drop a like. I appreciate each and every one of you that watched this video to the end. Again, a very long video, 35 minutes right now, 35 minutes, and it's probably going to be a little bit longer than that with the intro and exits. So guys, if you watch this video to the end, I greatly appreciate you. Hopefully you got a ton of knowledge and value from it. I try to pack every single video with value. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money.
Alright guys, that was the video. If you found it informative, all you have to do is simply drop a like, leave a comment, and press subscribe. That is a great way to help the channel grow and help the video get seen by more people. The more likes, the more comments, the more the video gets engagement, the more people see it. So that really helps more apes, AMC apes, apettes find this channel and start profiting today and start finding the truth about AMC. Let's go ahead, and I thank you guys for each and every one of you that watched to the end of this video. I truly appreciate it. It means a lot to me, especially that the fact this is a longer video. Hopefully you found the video informative, and if you did, go ahead and drop a like, leave a comment, press subscribe. Hit me up on Discord, Instagram. You guys already know Discord is $50 for a lifetime invite. Everything's linked down below. We also have a channel membership. The membership really helps out as well because ad revenue does not pay a lot, so it helps pay for some of the time that I put in the channel. So if you found some home run bangers, or if you got some information, if you got some knowledge, go ahead and become a member. That's $2.99 a month, $2.99 a month. You can cancel at any time. You get exclusive member content only. You also get validation as a member, and you get a badge next to your name as a member. And I appreciate each and every person that becomes a member. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.